But more from Davos. India is out of the radar at the World Economic Forum, as we've been telling you for a while. But a few Indian CEOs say the sentiment this time around is more upbeat than last year. Menka got up with N. Chandrasekhar, Adi Godrej and Vindi Banga. While they all agreed that sentiment is improving, they also conceded that India has a long way to go.
When I came here, I thought it'll be more of last year, but the sentiment here is more positive than I thought. In fact, all the people I spoke to said the same thing. So one takeaway for me is that most of the CEOs who go from here probably will go back a little more positive than they came here with.
I haven't heard a single business leader talk about putting those billions and trillions of dollars on corporate balance sheets back to work. So they might be feeling a little better about the year, but they're not feeling good enough to start putting money to work. Until that kick through for the investment cycle doesn't come in, jobs, demand, all of that is going to be a big question mark. What do you make of that?
No, I think very clearly it's not that everybody is extremely optimistic, extremely positive, but I would say the mood is much better than it was a few months ago, certainly better than it was in Davos last year. And especially from an India point of view, I see the perception very good. We've had several meetings. They're not necessarily in the Congress Center, but we've had a breakfast session here, we had an investors meet here, and I think the reaction was very positive, and people have been appreciative of what the Indian government has done in terms of the reform process over the last few months.
Mr. Godrej, since you brought the conversation to India, I'll put that question to Mr. Banga. Forgive me for disagreeing with you, but many people I spoke to are not in the least bit interested in India. They don't have questions to ask, which is very different from what it was 2 or 3 years ago, where they were keenly interested in what's going on in the Indian economy. And when you ask them about India investments, they have no concrete answers to give. They keep still talking about the retroactive tax issues and all of that. Are you really seeing investor interest in return to India?
Menka, this is going to be one of the probably rarest occasions when I disagree with my friend Adi Godrej. I think 18 months ago, every eye was focused on India. It was growing well and everybody wanted to invest there. Today the situation is different. The last 18 months have certainly seen a fall off in investor interest. Adi is right when he says that the recent months, 3-4 months, you have seen a renewed determination by the government and a set of pronouncements and actions being taken. But these are only pronouncements and actions. Long-term investors are in the mood of saying we're going to wait and watch to see whether these pronouncements lead to real action and how much change really happens. And this is particularly an issue given that in India there's going to be an electoral cycle in the next 12 to 18 months.
Well, India at Davos, but also some global voices from the World Economic Forum.